Killer. I can't only eat one. That's the problem. So, yeah, that's the next problem.
What is your favourite chocolate?
Come on, please. Do it away. Thanks. Nice gesture. A nice gesture.
Matt's a big actually today, wasn't it?
Yes, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Got a banjo with you, eh?
Jurgen, start with Rafa Benitez was speaking about Oscar's transfer over to China today and said it's early days but perhaps dangerous for football. What are your thoughts on the spending power that China has and the impact that it could have on your ability to keep your squad together and subsequently to add to that squad as well?
You know that few clubs in the rest of Europe think similar things about England. So the money in England could take the best players or bring the best players to England. So what can I say? It's really how always we are. It's in most parts of the world a free world, so we can make our own decisions. And if a player decides to go there, usually it's in another part of your career. So I think in this moment it's not a league where you actually want to play, but the only way to bring the players there is the money. And if a player decides for himself, then you probably you have no real weapons or whatever to hold him here. That's how it is. But as long as players want to, I think in nearly all big European leagues you can earn a lot of money. So and it should be enough at the end for sure, especially for the top players. But I have no idea why people make decisions like this. So for me, it's no option because I work a lot, but I have still kind of a private life, and I like to have a surrounding which I'm kind of used to be, and I'm a very open person, and maybe for holiday or everything, but it's not in this moment. For me, it's absolutely no option to go to China. But how I said, individuals making different decisions, and I don't know if we should say it's a kind of a danger or whatever, but it's another opportunity, obviously, for players, and hopefully they can be happy there, then everything is good. I think all generations following in the family Oscar are happy about this decision. No money worries anymore, so that's how it is.
On your own transfer plans, obviously you've been linked.
We get them all back from China.
Is that something that you were looking at? Or is there at least a hint there that you will be active in this transfer window that's coming up?
Oh, you asked the question again, and I have to find a new answer, or what? I think I said it 1 or 2 times that if there's something for us, or makes sense, and is possible, because there's not only China which could avoid a transfer. So there are other clubs, especially the club. If we have an eye on a player, then he is a good player. He plays probably in a good club, and if this club doesn't need money, then we have no chance. So that's but that's what we always do. And but actually, I can say we don't want to convince players with money. We want to convince them with the way we go. We want to have players who are ready to develop, and it's not a message for the winter transfer window. It's a message for the next few years. So, and we have already very good players, and if somebody want to be part of this team, then very welcome. If not, don't think about it anymore. So, nothing new about this. If something happened, of course, I call all of you and say immediately. If not, don't be surprised.
But with regards to Draxler, was that something you were looking at?
Oh, that's the same answer I will give always. No comments on transfers, on names or something like this. So nothing to say about this.
You do have Coutinho back in live training now. When you're expecting him to be available?
Unfortunately, we don't have him back in training. He makes his training. That's a big difference. And before we don't have him in training, there's absolutely no reason to think about when he is back. So we cannot rush the situation. We don't want to rush it, and we have only to accept the more or less bigger steps in his improvement with this a serious injury. It was not something. So it was a decent injury, or it is still. So we need to wait, and absolutely, whenever he's back, the season is long enough that he can help us. But we cannot rush it only because there are a few games now. That cannot have influence on our decisions.
I know initially you thought maybe the turn of the year. Is he, without putting an exact time, is he on track how you expect him to be rehabilitating at least?
More or less, yes. But like I said, it's always with look, a rehab with a professional football player is always on the edge, and we cannot say, okay, if we do nothing, it will take 10 days, and if we try something, it maybe will be 7 days or 12 if it's too much. So it's medicine is a lot about experience, and we are all the players, all the people are different, and so yeah, he was on a very good way. Then it was a little bit more difficult because of reaction in the ankle zone, and we have to cool down the situation a little bit. But he's still on a good way, and it's all good. I don't think it will be from this moment on a long term still, but. The game I think everybody's dreaming of, the City game, for example, was clear from the first second of the injury that this will be really unlikely, but it was the dream of Phil. So, try to do it. In this moment, it's not more likely than before, but I don't want to say it's not possible, so we have to see.
And just as far as Joel Matip is concerned, I'm just wondering, first of all, how he is physically with the problems he had.
Better and better and better, but it's not the same injury, of course, but it's the same region. And yeah, it's the same. So we could have tried to bring in the Everton game, for example. Then it would have been a 95% probability that he is out for the next game. So we decided to give him the time he needs to really settle, and because he had these problems meanwhile since a few weeks, and was always close. Next game probably yes, then not, and then he could play. Then he was in the squad, but we couldn't use him warming up. All that stuff, we tried everything, but at the end you have to accept how it is. So he feels it is not possible that he feels 100% comfortable, and that makes it really difficult. But I spoke a few minutes ago to him, and he was very positive, but he's out already a few days of training, and as long as we have other players in training all the time, we will choose them.
Can I just add to that, sorry, as well about, I know we spoke about it a few weeks ago, but just how comfortable you are with the whole Africa Cup of Nations call-up and everything with
there's nothing it's not allowed to have an opinion. So I would say, if you ask me, I don't need World Cups, European Championships, and the Africa Cup of Nations. I'm a club manager, so, and they are all in a moment when I think they should rest or play.
It's just whether there might have been a suspension that you've gone through the. I'm sure.
Oh, there's nothing to say about it. We are, how you can imagine, in close talks with everybody who needs to know about, so nothing for you in this moment.
Juliet?
And Jurgen, we saw the impact Daniel had on Monday night, those 10 minutes, and you spoke about getting his fitness and the busy fixture schedule you've got coming up right now. What's his reaction been like since then, and what part will he have to play over the festive period, if it comes?
Important part, of course, but how could he be fit as the other players? That's not possible, but of course we know about his qualities ever since, so there was never a doubt, and now he's back in training, and each session helps him a lot, and he's in good shape, absolutely. But intense games, a lot of games, so we have to manage it through. But I'm really happy that we have outstanding good option back for selection.
James? Stoke were actually the last team to win at Anfield. That was back nearly a year ago in the League Cup. That's 22 games ago, so 22 games undefeated. What factors do you think have contributed to that run, which I think is the best in 7 years?
The quality of the players and the atmosphere in the stadium, I would say. So I think that was a clear plan from the beginning, that we tried to try to create a real strength at home. That should be the first thing you think about, because most of the games you have at home. That's good. And so it needs to be really difficult to play LFC at Anfield. And I think that's the job we did until now, but not all of these games were close to perfect or something. There's a lot to do, but I think it's very important in this specific case. I spoke already to the players about it, but it's exactly the same. Has exactly the same importance for the crowd. So I would try to explain a little bit. If your parents have 3 kids and you are the middle one, huh? So the first one got everything, and then when the second kid is coming, the first one got a little bit of pressure. The second one is kind of he's here too, and then the third one is the nice baby and everything and like this. And Stoke is a little bit between Everton and Man City. Yeah, the second child, if you want, and probably a lot of people already have the points, and that's we have to do it differently. That's the most important game of the whole season, because we have no other game to play, and that's how we will go in it. So it's not important when they beat us last time. It's not important which kind of history is around this game or not. I don't care. This is the only thing we have to do the 27th of December, and that's what we really want to have. And what I feel now the second time, and that's really good, because I think we spoke a little bit about fixtures and all that stuff, but the good thing with having no break is you don't feel you need a break. So in Germany it was always like this: the last 2 weeks before a break you thought, 2 weeks to go and then we have a break. So here nobody is in this mood. Everybody's on fire. We are all really on the track, and that's really a good thing. But of course Stoke has the same idea, I would say. And so very, very important game, and I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully, and maybe that was the question at the beginning. Atmosphere changed everything. So hopefully, all our supporters are recharged after the 25th and the 26th, full of good food and in the best mood for this game. And so give everything you can.
Just on Joe Allen, who's doing well at Stoke, what have you made since he's left, and why did you think it was best for his development that he went to Stoke?
Look, do we miss a player? Do we miss Joe Allen? Yes. Nice guy, unbelievable strong player, but it was kind of a common decision. So it was we had clear conversations, and it was about what can I kind of guarantee. Not that Joe asked me for how many games I will make or something like this, but it was clear after the last 1-2 years being not a fixed lineup player all the time. Injuries were sometimes the reason or not, and we all knew about his quality. But and when you see him playing now, it's always a little bit like, oh. We are really happy for him that he scores that many goals and that he has this big impact on the game at Stoke. But that's how it is in life. You cannot have everything. We couldn't have everything. We couldn't have. I'm not sure that it would have been easy for him. That doesn't mean that he hasn't quality, but it's about having one option more or not, and using it for this or that system. He plays a little bit more offensive now than he probably would have played for us, and that all makes a little difference. But at the end, this should be always like this, that if Liverpool FC sells a player, they have to be a real, they need to have a real impact in their next club. It's not that we are the last club they can really perform. That should not be like this. So if you leave us, okay, but then show what you've learned if you want, or that you are really an outstanding good player. And Joe Allen for sure is an outstanding good player. So I would say we need to have a look on him.
Carl?
Yeah, can we just ask you about your thoughts on the January transfer window in January? You didn't bring anybody into squad last January,
We did.
Well, the squad, you signed Richard, we didn't come into it. The squad is in such a good moment at the moment. Does it almost, can it almost be a distraction when you bring someone new in, if you bring someone new in, that it affects the dynamic? Or?
No. I think usually in winter, if you don't have the biggest injury issues in the world and you need players for building a lineup, then you should only do things what you would do in the summer too. So because otherwise you solve a problem for half a year and then have another one. So in summer, but that's why I said we have always an eye on the market, always. But it doesn't mean that we can do what we want. They always, but we are. First of all, I'm really happy with the squad, and we, of course, in this moment, Phil is not involved. From beginning of January on, Sadio will not be involved, but we still have options. We can change system. We can do a lot of things, but the best thing will be they're all here and we can play them all the time. So, but especially with Sadio, we knew before. But that's part of the deal. When we got this outstanding player, and unfortunately, will be not involved in January, pretty much, and that's the situation. So we are not in this moment, but we have 2 games, and then a few more in January until the window is closing. So you can really be sure we are prepared. That doesn't mean that we do something. That's all. We are already looking for summer and all that stuff. That's how it should be, and maybe we can bring these 2 windows together and do the right thing in the right moment. If not, then we will not do it.
You said there about Sadio going to African Nations. You obviously knew that was going to happen. So have you had in the back of your mind a long plan to cope with his absence? Because he scored on Monday. There's been quite influential. Quite a lot of games. So did you think about a longer term plan when he's not here?
Yes. Hopefully you are not surprised. Yeah, of course. But it's not. Yeah. In this moment, okay, Sadio. What is Sadio kind of player? Is a winger if you want. So a very offensive player, very good, outstanding good. Can play in half space. Can do everything. So nice. So okay, and we have not 5 other wingers. But if we would have had 5 other wingers, for example, to replace him already, then we cannot have the team we have in this moment, with the atmosphere we have in this moment, where everybody feels is really important, what everybody feels in this moment. So that's good. But, how I said, you cannot have everything. So we decided to do this, and was a little bit unlucky of course, with one or the other injury in the wrong moment. So, but we still, how I said, we still can play different systems, and our players are really, a lot of our players are really versatile. Yeah. So that's what we have to use then. And for this, the players need to be open. I'm sure they are open for this, because it's another sign for kind of confidence. If you think the only system we can play is this system, that's not like it is. But we need to really show this then. But we cannot change the football world in this moment. So Sadio is away, and we have to find solutions. They can be under circumstances, under very specific circumstances on the transfer market. But if not, then they are in the squad.
Anything, Glenn? Or anyone else to say? Super. I think that wraps up the open. So we'll go to the breakout. Merry Christmas, all.
Yeah, right. Merry Christmas.